children. This is Miss Gloria from New Life Church, and we're doing our series right now where we're talking about Jesus' very famous sermon called the Sermon on the Mount. Now, you might remember from last week that Jesus was talking about how he came to fulfill the law, meaning to fill it up even fuller. So there were all these rules in the Old Testament part of the Bible, and Jesus is talking about how he interprets those rules a little bit differently than people were used to. Let's look at another example. This one says it's about oaths. Again, you have heard that it was said to the people long ago, "Do not break your oath, but fulfill to the Lord the vows you have made." So this has some words that we don't use all that much, oath and vow. But basically, those are just promises. They're promises that people keep. Now, sometimes people say they'll do something, but then when they don't do it, they say, well, I didn't promise. And so sometimes people don't believe people will really do what they're going to say. So people have all these kinds of promises to make it stronger. They could say, I really mean it this time. I really promise. Maybe people even say, cross their heart and hope to die. Or they make a pinky swear or something like that. Maybe some of you watched when the new president of the United States got sworn in. That was a swearing, that was an oath. They had a big old Bible that he held up and he put his hand on it and he said, I solemnly swear. That's to show that what he's doing is very important and that he's really promising very importantly. But what does Jesus say about that? Jesus says, but I tell you, do not swear an oath at all, either by heaven, for it is God's throne, or by the earth, because it is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. And do not swear by your head, for you cannot even make one hair white or black. All you need to say is simply yes or no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one. So why does Jesus say you shouldn't swear by things? Well, part of it was the people, if they really meant it, they would say something like, I swear by God. I think you might even have heard people say that. But sometimes people didn't really mean to keep their promises. So they said, I swear by heaven. But they're like, but I didn't swear by God. But Jesus says, but heaven is where God is. Or if you swear by earth or you swear by all kinds of things, you swear by different things. Jesus says, that shouldn't make any difference, really. He says, if you just say yes or no, that should be enough. He says you shouldn't be the kind of person that people have to have you swear on the Bible in order to believe what's true. You should be the kind of person that whatever you say, people just believe it's true because they know it's you. And you don't have to do this, I really mean it this time thing for people to believe you. Maybe a couple of weeks ago, you remember that God said we were supposed to be salt. Jesus said we were supposed to be salt. So let's put some salt in here. And the salt can stand for all of the good and true things. All the good and true things that we say. And if there's nothing there but salt, we don't have a problem, do we? But sometimes people do say things that maybe they don't really mean. Those things can be pepper. We'll put the pepper in there too. Now, if you have to separate out the pepper and the salt, if you have to do it by making promises or oaths, that's pretty hard. I mean, maybe I could go in there with my finger and try to get the pepper and salt all sorted out. If I told you had to sort out all the salt and pepper, you could spend a long time. It would be really hard. There is a way to make it work, though. I have a balloon, and this balloon can get power to separate the salt and pepper. How am I going to give this balloon power? Well, they said you weren't supposed to swear by your head. So I'm going to rub this balloon on my head in order to put the power of electricity into it. Let's see what happens now. Oh, look at that. The pepper is coming up. I'm getting out all this pepper. See that? There's the pepper on the balloon and the salt stayed here. But if you look really carefully, you'll see that not all the pepper is gone. There's still a little bit of pepper. So we can do different things like promises and oaths to try to tell the true and false things that people say. But remember what Jesus says is we should be like people who are like salt, that have nothing in our lives that's false at all. So people don't even have to ask us to promise or swear. If we just say, yes, I'll do it, people know we will do it, whether we even made a promise or not. That's what Jesus says that we should be like. We should be truthful all the time.